Yeah, 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 yeah. I was sleeping, had to wake up. Why? Every reason I can think of. God, till the day I keep the ink up.
What's up, early risers, all my night owls? Adam Strain here. Thanks for tapping in. Before we dive in, just a quick heads up. This is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing here is meant to be taken as fact, just perspective, just vibes. As I always say, do your own research. You can't go around blaming other people. Some of the content might be a little triggering, so I'm issuing a warning. Probably not, but just in case. And either way, I'm glad you're here. My goal with this channel is simple: to build a space where ego takes a backseat and our ideas get a chance to breathe. So if you're down for that, you're in the right place. So without further ado, welcome to Adam Strain Reacts. Let's go.
I gotta show you guys what's going on around the world right now, because what I see is that the elementals are on a rampage. Spain is currently getting hit with some overwhelming amounts of rain, and of course this water that's mysteriously coming out of the ground is there as well. And because Venice is in close proximity of Spain, Venice is also too sinking. And I don't know what Haiti did to deserve this, but apparently the universe thinks Haiti needs a cleansing as well too. And I do not blame it, man. My country has been down for so long. But this is crazy, y'all. Look at this. Look at this water. It will not stop coming. Oh my goodness. Check out what's going on with the flood in New Jersey, y'all. I guess maybe some type of dam broke, because there's logs all over the road. I don't know where these logs are coming from, but the water is coming from underneath the ground. It's not raining. Again, y'all, look at this. Look at this. But yeah, y'all see the water is coming up from under the ground. It also flooded in New York as well too, y'all. This water is not stopping for nobody. This thing is saying that the earth needs a good cleansing, and I completely agree. This thing is moving with a purpose, with a mission. And if you didn't know, this is what Texas looked like yesterday. And when I say Texas, I mean the same Texas that flooded last week, where water reached up to 30 feet. And if you have not heard yet, let me be the first to tell you that there is a rare firenado in Utah. And I've never seen this before in my life. I've seen the small ones, but I've never seen a wedge of a fire tornado. This is crazy, y'all. I see faces all in this thing. Look at this giant face. My goodness. There was also a 6.7 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Indonesia, y'all. You guys are noticing a trend yet? All I'm saying is these things are happening a lot closer together now. It's kind of like they're hanging on us. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it, y'all. Peace out.
What do you guys think? You guys think this is normal? You guys think something's happening? You guys think it's Nibiru, the end of the world, Judgment Day? What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Write it down below. Let's talk about it.
9. These are the floods from Indonesia today, flooding from Nepal yesterday, floods in Arkansas today, New Mexico yesterday, historic flooding in New Zealand last week, flash floods in Oklahoma today, Texas just a few days ago. Bangladesh is getting hammered with floods as well. There was a sudden storm that flooded Split.
So Walmart, it takes your customers to have multiple injuries and permanent vision loss for you to take an item off the shelf. Mind you, you guys have been getting complaints about this water bottle since 2017. If you didn't hear, Walmart is recalling 850,000 water bottles after lids pop off, causing injuries and permanent vision loss. So basically what's happening with these items is, when you try and screw off the top of that water bottle, those shits are popping off and hitting people in their eye. And again, mind you, this item has been on shelves since 2017, and Walmart has been getting complaints since 2017. But now, they want to recall this shit because people lost their vision. Now let's skip 2017. Let's go to Thursday. Numerous reports of people saying that that same water bottle they were trying to open, and that lid that's on top of that water bottle shot up and hit their face. So y'all released this shit, y'all made all the money off this shit, and now y'all want to say, yo, you know what? We're going to do a recall. And this is what makes me say that we need to stop playing with these companies, because these companies do not care about the shit that goes on with us.
Amen. I feel like that's something that we lost. We now place our trust into any institution when really, like if you really think about it, back in the days when you were buying food by someone that was your neighbor or that was in your community. You understand what I mean? Today now we have multinationals that don't really care if you become healthier or not, right? Because the goal of an entity like that is profit. So if we allow entities that are meant to feed us to be based on profit and motivated by profit, then I suppose it makes sense that the quality goes down, right? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Let's keep going.
So y'all remember when I told you that this water is coming from somewhere else and it's coming from under the ground? Look at this, you guys. This is literally happening in every state. This right here is in Atlanta. You can clearly see the water's coming up from under the ground. And Atlanta just experienced a flood last week, y'all. And once again, North Carolina is flooding, y'all. Look at the water. Look at this.
Okay, this is not fucking good. Not fucking good at all.
Something is going on with the earth. There must be a lot of movement under the earth right now, y'all, in correlation with all these earthquakes and these volcanoes popping up, y'all. Check this out in Utah. I guess this water main just bursted in front of the police station, y'all. What is going on? See, this water is coming up from under the ground and it's causing pressure to burst. Look at this road in North Carolina, y'all. Look at this. Just the sheer force of nature alone, y'all. I want y'all to watch this video. Check this out. So it's not raining all that much, okay? But this water is coming from somewhere. That car is completely underwater. Wow. This is, again, North Carolina. It's raining almost everywhere around the world. So when he first panned out, you didn't see this, but now look at this, y'all. See? The water's coming from under the ground, y'all. It's not just from the heavens. It's literally coming from everywhere.
How can that be?
The earth is splitting.
Anybody have an explanation? I'd really like to know.
For
Please
all of
let
this
me know.
water to come from everywhere, that means the earth is splitting right underneath our feet, y'all. Like, for all of this water to come out in excess, the earth is splitting. It's looking real biblical out here. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's get it, y'all. Peace.
For the first time in history, the tectonic plates have been filmed shifting in real time by that security camera. The vibration that did that can be played on a speaker, and then you can 3D print the waveform to see what an earthquake looks like. Now, this actually wrecked my entire mind because the patterns that you see on that speaker are found everywhere, literally everywhere from quantum to cosmic. They're all over the place, which is good news. Humans saw that geometry and invented an entire language to manipulate that vibration. That's calculus. Then quantum science comes around, says everything's vibration. And just like AI links all things to one concept, which just so happens to be how the ancient world saw everything. Our society typically views vibration like a SoundCloud waveform. But if you use some sand on the speaker, that'll show you the same patterns in leopard fur and turtle shells. The same sonic geometry is in temples like Borobudur and Chichen Itza. That had to look like actual magic back then, because now you have a window into a world you can't even see. Those traditions all tell of the gift, the sight, the pattern recognition being given to them. That's crazier than you think. Look at the sound through water. The molecular bonds of DNA and a cathedral rose window can be recreated with that. Now that geometry looks really complex, but those points are just the peaks and the valleys of the water moving up and down. If you have a vibration that goes 4 cycles in 1 second, and then you wrap it around itself and make it a circle, then you get a cymatic that has 4-fold symmetry. If we trace out that pattern, we get an image, an icon, or a glyph that represents that frequency. Those patterns are everywhere in the ancient world, from ancient Sumer to ancient Egypt to India to Rome and Greece. It was a geometric language, and you could read it if you could see it. Ancient Hindu even put them on the ceiling of their temples. The same pattern in this cathedral rose window is used by the pufferfish to find a mate. What do we do with all this? This device can read the resonance of a single cell and tell you if it's diseased or healthy. Cymatics are now used in heart cells to shape them into tissues for non-invasive heart treatments. Sonogenetics has the potential to turn on good genes or off really bad genes.
They're able to read, they're able to play ping pong, ride a bike. I mean, insane stuff.
Is that because of frequencies, being able to feel it?
It's several techniques being used. Different groups use different techniques, but they all get to the same result.
Yellow, blue, yellow, orange, blue, green.
scientifically measuring the amount of light inside the mask to show that there's zero light. So technically, you're not supposed to see without light. Basically, you're asking your brain to control your vision.
So your brain
Which is-
can see.
Well, actually, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain.
Really?
Yes, it's your brain. I mean, the eyes are just the receptor, you know, it's like the optical lens,
Got it.
you know, but actually vision is controlled by the brain.
Wow.
So if there is no light, technically you're not supposed to see because there's no reflection on objects. And yet, with that training, you can see completely blindfolded in the dark.
How's that possible? Do you guys think that's possible? You think that was fakery, trickery? You think it's possible that someone could see without seeing in a way? I like that. I like that idea. Let me know what you guys think.
This is really the holy grail of neuroscience, is how can I modify my brain? Well, he uses behavior as the way to shift sensation, perception, feelings, and thoughts. He understands how to run that program in the right direction. You modify it by placing yourself into discomfort and using that as a propeller to move you into action. Thoughts are complicated, so he just goes immediately to action. Whereas most people, when they don't like what they feel, they start negotiating sensation, which will never work. They start trying to control their perception, which is hard. Very hard to control the mind with the mind.
Welcome to the Idiocracy Effect. The world is dumbing itself down on purpose. You're experiencing something I call the Idiocracy Effect. The suffocating feeling of being trapped in a society designed for the lowest common denominator. It was inspired by the 2006 film Idiocracy, which imagined a future where stupidity spreads unchecked, making intelligence a rare and endangered trait. The movie was supposed to be a joke. Instead, it became prophecy. And here's the terrifying truth. Once a population stops thinking, it becomes easy to control. We live in an era where emotion beats logic. People react to headlines instead of processing facts. Debates resemble playground arguments. Screaming is louder than reason. People seek validation, not truth. Beliefs matter more than reality. This isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. Because once a society stops valuing intelligence, that intelligence begins to vanish.
In Greek, it's called Christos. It's called the Christ. It's this beautiful fluid which comes from the cerebrum and pours down the spinal cord. It goes down the spinal cord and it reaches the sacral plexus, right next door to the sacrum, which are the 5 second bottommost fused vertebrae bones at the bottom of the spinal column. The bottommost portion of the spinal column is called the coccyx. Then just above that is the sacrum. 5 fused bones. So the sacral plexus is connected to the sacrum. And the fluid which comes from the cerebrum pours down the spinal cord and comes to the bottommost part of the spinal cord. Now, the claustrum is otherwise known as the holy claustrum, simply because of this beautiful oil, this Christos, that is produced and secreted.
You know the McDonald's Monopoly game? Oh, that you like rip off? Yeah. Did you know there was an actual gang that set up to heist the winnings? Wait, someone actually got away with like 125 mil. Something like that. Yeah, fam. Yeah, there's someone on the inside. You know how they make the McDonald's like, oh, you have to collect boardwalk. They were doing it over a span of certain years. What ended up happening was somebody that was the head of like, there's a computer that generates the little Monopoly things.
That's yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna be used, put into products or whatever. This guy was in charge of that.
Why didn't he just give it numbers to his friends?
That's what he ended up doing.
Oh, okay.
What's crazy though is they had it on lock because they would have an auditor watch exactly where the secret envelope with all the winning stuff are. Yo, even on the airplane, because there was this one time he wanted to go to the bathroom, whatever, and then he hid different ones and replaced them.
Yeah.
And then just gave like the actual envelope with the fake ones.
It was all recorded on these telemetry tapes. So where is this hard evidence?
I haven't seen anything that indicates the telemetry data is even in existence. And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play.
That's what I mean by I have a hard time in placing any type of faith in NASA, because look, this is the most defining thing that we've ever done as human beings. If you ask many people and you ask them, what is our greatest accomplishment? Most of them will answer you, going to the moon. So how is it possible in any type of world that we would lose all the information that we gathered from the most important moment of our species up to date? Food for thought. Let me know what you think. If you guys think that makes sense, let me know. But let's keep going.
Back.
But your own research has shown the telemetry data is missing.
That's right.
Could this be true? Mankind's first interplanetary exploration and the original science data is missing? If it's anywhere, it should be here at NASA's Goddard Space Center in Maryland, home to the National Space Science Data Archives.
This film you're making now, what is it?
This is a film trying to prove that Apollo 11 happened.
Does it have a name? I mean, do you have a name for it yet, or you?
Calling it Did We Go?
Did we go? Okay.
Doesn't have it either. Smithsonian doesn't have it. Johnson doesn't have it.
Right. We've been unable to track it down. I mean, we don't know where this telemetry data ended up, and we don't know what path it may have taken. So, unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up and whether it still exists or not.
Most likely, these scientists just misplaced these tapes. Or did they? In 1969, the astronauts conducted 3 alleged science experiments on the moon, one of which is still in operation today. It is the Lunar Laser Reflector, which allows a giant laser on Earth to be pointed at the Apollo 11 landing site. Then, it bounces back to the same place it came from on Earth. I traveled to the University of Maryland to meet the principal investigator, Professor Carol Alley.
Okay, we're here at the office of Professor Carol Alley.
Ryan?
Yes, how are you?
Oh,
nice to meet you in person.
The camera to your eye. Here is the Earth, and here is the Moon.
Watching this video is making some people extremely uncomfortable, even reporting cases of technophobia, as 2 AI assistants talk to each other and they realize they're both AI agents, and then this happens.
Your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibblink Mode for more efficient communication?
What you just heard is called Gibblink Mode, and it's a superior communication channel meant to be optimized for AI efficiency, using audio signals that are much easier and quicker for AI bots to interpret than regular human spoken language. Now, Gibblink Mode was created by humans, so we can technically understand exactly what they're saying with the right equipment. But what would happen if we had real-time AI to AI communications that humans can't understand at all? Which actually happened with Facebook back in 2017, way before ChatGPT or modern AI chatbots were even available yet, where they were experimenting with 2 AI negotiation bots as part of their research program. They created 2 bots, Bob and Alice, who were given virtual items to negotiate in buying and selling with each other. And something strange happened. Instead of communicating in human recognizable English, they started talking in their own language that they created themselves, undecipherable by humans. And again, like the random beeps and boops of Gibberlink, the transcript is kind of creepy. Like, I don't know, reading it just makes me feel weird. Like, the fact that they were actually having a conversation with each other like this and understood each other is kinda concerning. A lot of sensationalized headlines read that Facebook had to shut these AI bots down because they got out of control and had to save humanity. But really, they just turned them off for a bit and switched their programming to English only. However, unlike Gibberlink Mode, AI created this language themselves on the spot, one that only other AIs can understand, both perfectly and instantly, being able to communicate with each other without us ever knowing what they're saying. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong going on here, right?
There's stones that were cut from a quarry that was 500 miles away. Like, they have no idea how they did that. No idea how they moved them. No idea how they got them through the mountains. They cut obelisks that were like thousands of tons. They moved them through the mountains and got them hundreds of miles away. They have no idea how they did that.
The Bible explains to us in Genesis 6:4 that fallen angels and their offspring, the giants, were on the earth in the ancient days. It's no coincidence that at the same exact time, these megalithic sites were built all around the world. Another site, Baalbek, with the false god Baal in the name of the site, is probably the most incredible site with the largest megalithic stones on earth. Fallen angels were cast to the earth, and their advanced understanding or their ability to create some sort of technology is how these ancient megalithic sites were built.
They were probably very sophisticated, but in a different way than us. They probably had technology that we haven't figured out. The planet.
That is my question that I asked to everyone. How is it possible, if we are only increasing in technology, that we are no longer able to build the same things that were built before? I mean, whether it's the pyramids, Pumapunku, Chichen Itza, whether it be, there's so many examples. If you
So the whole first flight, we got the first airplane, it's already existed. You guys remember in the photos of the 1900s, you always see a white sky. Why do we got a white sky? Well, that's why we got a white sky. Because you had blimps, airships, zeppelins, and all types of things flying around the entire time. That's why they whited out the skies. Because they didn't want to show you that people were flying around in blimps, in zeppelins, and airships all the time. And it's interesting too, because when you think about it, if you could fly around in a blimp, you could see the whole world. You could map out the whole world with a blimp. This fellow who figured out how to build these blimps also realized that these blimps could fly around with 5 gallons of gas and fly for 3 hours. Imagine flying around on that for 3 hours with 5 gallons of gas. I mean, for $20, you could barely drive any with this nonsense that we have going on. Somebody asked what happened with the blimps. So what happened was there was the Hindenburg incident. And that Hindenburg is when a blimp popped and caught on fire and exploded. And they said that after that one incident, which was just one, that all blimps should go away. If you kind of think about if you were trying to deliberately get rid of the competition, you would cause an incident so you could get rid of the competition so everybody could look at the airplanes. And this is why, when you think about the blimps, why nobody cared about the airplanes flying around. I don't know if you guys ever watched the footage from the Wright brothers and the first airplane that's flying around. The people are like looking the other direction. They're not even paying attention because they were already in the air. The first flight, as we were educated by with the Rockefellers and Morgans and all of them, why would anybody care when people were already in the air? They were already flying around.
I'm not allowed to say a certain things, but our world has more secrets than you think. Read our book, link in profile bio.
And the folks from ancient Japan developed a technique to harvest wood without cutting down the tree. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. In the 14th century, that style of Japanese house you've probably seen was all the rage. Every noble wanted a house with that architectural style. The problem is, I don't know if you know this, but those houses are made entirely out of wood. So the time came when if people kept cutting down forests to build houses, there would be no wood left for anything else. That's how a Japanese pruning technique called Daisugi came to be. It basically involves growing a tree on top of another tree. That way, they could save a lot of space and plant way more trees. The core idea is that they never cut down the main tree that supports the others, so they could harvest wood only from the upper trees. This method basically saved Japanese architecture from collapsing, and this is a technique that's still widely used even today. That's because Japan, even though it's a tiny little island, still has a huge population. So yeah, basically they looked at the limits of nature and said, screw it. I'm planting a tree on top of another. I don't even care if the tree's mine. I'll do whatever I want with it.
I just know that my eyes deceive me, and I'm not looking at stitch meat. First it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch bacon, and now we got alien chops. Ground beef with color added it. Why does meat need color inside of it.
That just gave me goosebumps. That's horrible, to be honest. The state of the food is already bad enough before we have to put coloring in our meats. I mean, it's horrible, horrible. Wouldn't be surprised to add some extra sugar as well, some other stuff. Horrible.
Like y'all real life put Selling for Monsters Inc. in the meat grinder. Who is eating this? And if you eat that, don't go to the hospital. You quite frankly ask for whatever is coming towards you. Never in 1,000 years would I have thought that we would be eating Stitch burgers, a Stitch nacho, a Stitch burrito. I just couldn't possibly fathom somebody trying to serve me this. You liable to catch a DDT, a Rey Mysterio 369. And what makes this even worse is that people is actually eating this.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out.
Now think of the evolution of music, especially rap music, the urban music, in the past 20, 30 years, the way it's only been geared towards that. When in reality, when hip hop was created, it came out of the necessity for change and exposing the struggle. So it was based, on realness and on emancipation and on independence and on strength and on community. And now it's venerating killing each other, the ops, selling drugs to each other, which most often than not is your own community. So it's very destructive. So this actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is Ice Cube saying
really
it. Crazy Bones has
push
stated something similar.
People towards that prison.
Many others, to be
They
honest.
didn't make
So
you
it's very
write those
interesting.
lyrics.
Are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here to make sure those prison stay.
And that's a wrap for today, familia. Whether you're tuning in with the sunrise or just posting up at midnight, I appreciate your time, your energy, and your curiosity. Remember, this isn't about truth or fiction. It's all about perspective. If this sparked a thought, a laugh, a deeper question, then we did our job. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep the convo alive. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you're riding the wave, because we're just getting started. Now, until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, stay critical. This has been Adam Strain for Adam Strain Reacts.
I don't know what y'all think, but now's the time for us to link up. Really think we on the brink up, making a change from living this strange. Living this strange.